Gentlemen, here's a truth that nobody wants to admit. 68% of American men over 55 are silently struggling with this issue. They lie awake at night. They worry. They feel like they've lost a part of themselves. This isn't your age's fault. It's not your testosterone's fault. And it's certainly not your fault. I'm Dr. Sarah Brown. For the past 18 years, I've dedicated my life to men's health. I've sat face-to-face with thousands of gentlemen from 55 to 85 across America. They all share one common pain, feeling like they've lost connection with their own masculinity. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 ancient pressure points where you just press 3 points on your manhood and wake up hard every morning. These pressure points work by activating your body's natural circulation system. No prescription drugs with terrible side effects, no invasive surgery. No expensive gadgets or questionable supplements, just your fingers and 5 minutes a day. And here's what I want you to understand right now. This isn't about age. I've seen 75-year-old men regain their vitality. Age is only half the story. The real issue is circulation, blood flow, and energy pathways that have become blocked. This isn't about turning back time. This is about reclaiming your confidence. About feeling like a real man in your own body. About walking tall, sleeping better, and reconnecting with your partner in ways you thought were gone forever. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of my health tips designed specifically for men over 55. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and tell me how I can make these videos even more helpful for you. Let's start with the first point in this video. Point 1. The pubic bone area. Meet Robert, 62 years old, sitting in my office, looking down at his hands. "Doctor," he said quietly, "I haven't been able to, for over 8 months. Margaret doesn't say anything, but I can see it in her eyes. That's when I showed Robert the first thing, an area he had never realized held such hidden power, the area right above the pubic bone. Put your hand down on your lower abdomen. Feel that hard bone right above your private area. That's your pubic bone. Now, move your hand up about 2 fingers width above that bone. You'll feel soft tissue, maybe a little tight. That's exactly the point we're looking for, what the ancient masters called the source of masculine vitality." Robert looked at me skeptically as I explained. "Doctor, how can just one small spot like that help me? Think of your circulation system like a network of water pipes. The internal iliac artery, the main highway that supplies blood to your entire genital area, runs right underneath this point. Over time, these pipes can get narrowed, just like how old water pipes get calcium buildup. Blood can't flow freely. The result? Erections get weaker or disappear completely. But when you apply gentle pressure to this point, combined with deep breathing, you're directly massaging those blood vessels from the outside, stimulating special pressure receptors that tell your nervous system, send blood here." Robert was still skeptical. I told him about Harold, my patient from Detroit, 72 years old. Harold came to me with the same story. Had tried every pill. Nothing worked. His wife Linda had even started sleeping in separate rooms. "Harold," I told him, "give me 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks with this technique." Harold chuckled. "Doc, if $500 pills don't work, what's a little massage going to do?" 2 weeks later, Harold came back to my office with a smile I'd never seen before. "Doctor," he whispered, "Linda and we've reconnected. That's the power of activating this point correctly." "But how exactly does it work?" Robert asked. "When you get an erection, what happens?" "Blood rushes into the penis and gets trapped there. But before that can happen, 3 things need to occur. First, your nervous system has to send the on signal. Second, blood vessels have to relax and expand. Third, blood has to flow strongly enough to fill the space. The point above the pubic bone activates all three of these processes. Gentle pressure stimulates the parasympathetic nerves, the nerves responsible for relaxation and sexual function. Deep breathing increases nitric oxide. And a gentle massage improves local blood flow by up to 25%. Think of it like opening the main valve in your home's water system. Once that valve opens, water flows everywhere it needs to go. Robert nodded slowly. I'm starting to understand. But Robert, I continued, this technique works best when you support it with the right habits. Timing matters. Do this twice a day. Once in the morning when you wake up, once at night before bed, because your testosterone is naturally highest in the morning and your parasympathetic nervous system is most active at night. Find a private, quiet place. Turn off your phone. This isn't multitasking. This is the time for you to connect with your body. Hydration is crucial. Blood is 90% water. If you're dehydrated, circulation weakens. Drink a glass of water before you start. And finally, patience. Harold saw results in 5 days. Robert took 10 days. Another patient took 3 weeks. Everybody learns at their own pace, but if you're consistent, I told Robert, your body will remember. It will start responding. But this was just the beginning of Robert's journey. You see, this first point is like starting the engine of a car. The engine starts running, but to really drive, to have power, speed, performance, you need more than that. The second point I'm about to show you is located in an area that most men feel embarrassed discussing. But this is the area that ancient masters called the core of male power. When Robert learned to activate this point, that's when the real magic started happening. The second point. In Western medicine, we call it the perineum. In traditional Chinese medicine, this is CV1, conception vessel, point 1. This is the soft area between your scrotum and your anus. If you place your finger there, you'll feel soft tissue, maybe a little sensitive. Don't worry, that's normal. This area contains a complex network of nerves, blood vessels, and muscle fibers. All of them are critical for masculine function. Why is this point so important? Think of your circulation system like a dam complex with multiple gates and channels. Over time, some of these gates get stuck in the closed position. Water, in this case, blood flow, can't flow freely. Pressure builds up in some areas, while other areas become starved. The perineum works like the master valve in this system. When you apply gentle pressure here and breathe deeply, you're not just stimulating local blood flow, you're sending signals down the entire pelvic network. Release, let go, allow flow. But there's more to it. This area is also the hub of your pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that support your prostate, bladder, and all your reproductive organs. When these muscles are tight or chronically tensed, they literally choke off circulation. Gentle activation of the perineum helps these muscles remember how to relax. Let me tell you about William. He came to me after trying everything, pills, pumps, even injections. Nothing worked consistently. He told me, "Doc, I feel like my plumbing is broken beyond repair." William had been working with the first point for 2 months with some improvement, but not enough. When I introduced him to the perineum technique, he was skeptical. "Doc, I've been doing plumbing my whole life. I know pipes. How can one soft spot like this fix such a hard problem?" I said. "William, trust me, sometimes a soft touch fixes what force can't." He started with the technique. Day 12, I remember clearly because he marked it on his calendar. He called me, excited like a kid. "Doc, Something happened last night. For the first time in 2 years, everything worked perfectly. But here's the best part. 3 months later, William's wife, Sandra, wrote me a letter. She said, "Dr. E. Brown, you didn't just give my husband back his confidence. We're dating again at 68. But how exactly does it work? The perineum sits right above a bundle of critical structures. You have the pudendal nerve, the main highway carrying sensations from your entire genital area to your brain. You have the internal pudendal artery, the major blood supplier to the penis, and you have a complex of pelvic floor muscles controlling blood retention during erection. When these structures become compressed or inflamed, often from years of sitting, stress, or just aging, they can't function optimally. Blood flow reduces. Nerve signals weaken. Muscle control deteriorates. But here's the breakthrough. Gentle stimulation of the perineum area creates what scientists call reflexive vasodilation. Simply put, it tells blood vessels, open up, relax, allow flow. A study from the University of California showed that men who practiced perineum stimulation for just 15 minutes daily experienced an average improvement of 37% in erectile firmness within 4 weeks. That's the difference between disappointment and satisfaction. But it goes deeper. This area also connects to your parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest, digest, and reproduce. Modern life keeps most men stuck in sympathetic mode, fight or flight. Perineum activation helps switch you back to parasympathetic, creating optimal conditions for sexual function. But how do I do this properly? You need a small rolled towel or soft cushion. Nothing fancy. A rolled-up bath towel is perfect. Avoid anything too firm. Remember, we're encouraging, not forcing. Position. Sit comfortably on the towel, allowing gentle pressure against the perineum. You don't need millimeter-perfect positioning. Your body will guide you to the sweet spot. Timing. Unlike the first point, this one works best when you're already slightly aroused, maybe after a shower, or when you're naturally feeling sensual. Don't force it when you're stressed or exhausted. Breathing. Slow, deep abdominal breaths. Imagine breath flowing down into the pelvis, filling the entire area with warmth and oxygen. Hold for 4 counts. Release for 6. This rhythm optimizes parasympathetic activation. Duration. Start with 5 minutes. Some men need longer, some shorter. Listen to your body. You'll know when you hit the sweet spot, a feeling of warmth, gentle pulsing, or subtle energy movement. Progressive approach. Don't expect miracles in the first session. Like William, some men see results in days, others need weeks. Consistency beats intensity every time. When you combine all 3 points, upper pubic stimulation plus perineum activation plus this final secret, something extraordinary happens. Your body doesn't just remember how to function sexually. It remembers how to thrive. Are you ready to discover the point that even surprised me with its effectiveness? Stay with me, because what comes next could change everything. Point 3. The inner thigh crease. 2 months passed. Robert had mastered the first 2 points. His life with Margaret changed dramatically. They reconnected, became closer. But he felt something was still missing, like a car that could start but wasn't running at full power. Finally, Robert was ready for the final point, the secret that even ancient masters only shared with their most trusted disciples. The location of the 3rd point is where your thigh meets your lower abdomen. There's a groove here. Most men never think about this area. We only focus on the destination. We forget about the highway that leads there. But this inner thigh crease is where the most important pathways are hidden. The femoral artery runs right underneath here. So does the femoral nerve. This is the main highway carrying blood and sensation to your entire lower region. Think of it this way. You have a beautiful house. The electricity inside works fine. But what happens if the main power line from the pole to your house is damaged? Your genital area is like that house. The first 2 points are like the electrical system inside the house. The thigh crease is the main power line from the electrical pole. When this line gets blocked, the entire system weakens. This is what happens with age that most doctors don't tell you about. The femoral artery starts narrowing. The nerve gets compressed. Blood can't flow strongly. Nerve signals can't transmit clearly. But when you massage gently along this crease the right way, you're opening up, releasing blockages that have existed for years. To show Robert the real power of this point, I told him about Charles. 74 years old, a retired teacher from Boston, Charles had been doing the first 2 points for 5 months with pretty good results, but not consistent ones. One good day, one bad day. "Doctor," he once told me, "it's like an old car engine. Sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't." His wife, Dorothy, was frustrated too. They'd start getting close, then everything would fade away halfway through. When I taught Charles the 3rd point technique, he was skeptical. "How can massaging my leg help what's going on down there?" I just said, "Charles, trust me." A month later, Dorothy personally wrote me an email. "Dr. Brown, Charles hasn't just come back physically. He has new vitality." How it works. The femoral artery is one of the largest arteries in the body, supplying blood to the entire lower region, including the genital area. When this artery works optimally, blood flows strongly, and erections are firm and lasting. But over time, like every pipe in your house, it can get narrowed, plaque builds up, vessel walls stiffen, and flow decreases. Here's what's amazing. When you gently massage along the crease, you stimulate the arterial walls. It helps them relax, expand, and improve flexibility. Research from Johns Hopkins showed that gentle stimulation of the femoral artery for 10 minutes daily can improve blood flow by up to 42% within 6 weeks, but there's also the femoral nerve, which carries sensations from the genital area to the brain. When this nerve gets compressed or irritated, pleasurable sensations decrease. Gentle massage releases pressure on the nerve, improves signal transmission, and enhances sensitivity. So how do I do this correctly? Lie down or sit comfortably, legs extended straight, completely relaxed. Use your middle and ring fingertips. Stroke gently along the crease from top to bottom, like petting a cat. Very light pressure. Don't press hard. You're stimulating, not doing a deep tissue massage. Go slowly, each stroke lasting 3 seconds, pausing at any tight or slightly tender spots. The most important part is breathing. Breathe slowly and evenly. When you find a tight spot, breathe deeply and hold gentle pressure for 10 seconds. 5 minutes per leg, 10 minutes total. Once a day, best in the evening before bed. Good signs are warm sensations spreading down the leg, gentle pulsing, and feelings of relaxation. Some people see results in a few days, some need a few weeks. Don't rush it. 3 weeks later, Robert came back with the brightest smile I'd ever seen from him. "Doctor, now I understand why the ancients kept this secret. When you combine all 3 points like Robert did, real magic begins. The first point starts the system. The second point releases energy. The third point opens the main highway. Together, creating a perfect symphony." But there's one more thing I need to share with you: how to optimize this entire system and ensure long-lasting results. Robert became a different man. Not because he reversed his age, but because he unlocked what was always available in his own body. 3 simple points. 3 ancient secrets. 1 life-changing journey. Let's remember what we just discovered together. The first point, the area above the pubic bone, is the master switch for pelvic circulation. Just 2 minutes a day, you activate the main blood supply to your entire genital area. The second point, the perineum area, the valve that releases blockages built up over the years. When William applied this technique, he regained not just sexual function but his confidence, too. And the third point, the inner thigh crease, ensures blood and energy flow powerfully to exactly where they need to go. This isn't about magic. This is about science, about understanding your body, about using what nature has given you. No drugs with side effects, no risky surgery. Just 5 minutes a day with these 3 points. We need to understand this. Age is not your enemy. In the past 18 years, I've seen 70-year-old men with more vitality than 40-year-olds. The difference? They know how to take care of their bodies the right way. You don't need to accept decline as a natural part of aging. You don't need to suffer in silence. You don't need to feel inadequate or ashamed. Your body still has amazing capabilities. It just needs to be awakened the right way. So now you have 2 choices. You can close this video and go back to your old routine, hoping that things will fix themselves. Or you can take action today, right now, this very moment. If this video has value for you, hit that like button to help other men find it. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone who might benefit. Sometimes helping others is how we heal ourselves too. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss any helpful videos. And leave a comment. I read every comment and will answer your questions. Gentlemen, your best years are not behind you. They're ahead of you, waiting for you to go out and claim them. You deserve a life full of vitality, full of confidence, full of connection. You deserve to feel like a real man. The journey begins with a choice, and that choice starts right now. I believe you can do it.